Well, we're going to pick a few blackberries today. I tell you what, they are looking pretty doggone good. This will be the first harvest of 2024. Now, when I say that, little caveat in that I have come through and eaten a few. I'm not sure, I'm not going to call that a major harvest, but I want to show you the size of some of these blackberries. First of all, as we're coming through picking blackberries, I always look for the canes that need tipping. This trellis wires right here. The cane is above, that's the new cane, the Primocane is above the trellis wire. So I'm just going to take that off. And yes, I could propagate it. I just don't, I'm not going to propagate this year anything that I know of. And summer is not a good time for me to propagate anyways. Here in Texas, it just really has never, historically has never been a good time. So I just don't. But I want you to look at that blackberry. And there's a bunch of them that look like that. That one there is a big one. Shoot, man, I see one on the other side. It's even bigger probably. But really, really good looking blackberries. This may very well be a bumper year. Another cane that needs tipping. And what I'm doing is kind of tipping it with my fingernail. That one may be so big that I need to get a, no, I got it. Well, there you go. So big that I thought I needed a pair of shears or something like that, but got it. But, you know, don't want to injure them. This one is growing outside of the trellis, so just a good time when you're picking, anytime you're looking at your blackberries, to come through and look and see how they're faring and see how they're growing, and put them inside the trellis if you have a trellis. If you don't have a trellis, you certainly should have. If you're growing blackberries, there's one I see that I am going to need the shears on. It's just pretty doggone big. But look at these berries. Some of them got a little red on them, not quite ready. I don't like to pick until they're black, because, and you've only got like a day, maybe two, because they'll turn black and then the bugs will start getting in them, and then they, I don't know, I can't even describe it, kind of start drying out. The little individual buttons there, bumps, beads, berries, whatever, will start kind of drying out. So you got about a day, maybe 2 days from the time that they get, I mean, if you look at one and if it's got a little red on it today, you're going to need to pick that tomorrow, because it's going to be ready to go tomorrow. So I wouldn't pick when it's like this, little tart, if it's got not just that red there, but if it's got red, if you can just see tinges of red in the sunlight, then it's probably needs to go another day. But that one right there, solid black, and it is good. Now, several of people said that their Prime Ark Freedoms weren't as sweet as they want them to be. Prime Ark Freedom is not the sweetest blackberry. It's a good blackberry, it tastes like a blackberry, but it's not super sweet. The Poncas that I have over there in the orange tubs, now those are pretty doggone sweet. So if you want something real sweet, smaller berry, prolific, we'll go over there and look at those in just a second. Very prolific, but it's a much smaller berry, you know, where these are maybe an inch and a quarter, probably. Those are just, you know, maybe the size of maybe 3/4 of an inch, something like that, just not that big. But look at these. I mean, I have got some berries. They got a good pollination, obviously. Look at that big one. That's a big one right there. Another big one right there. I mean, just really good looking berry. I will pick these today. I will freeze these today. And the way I freeze them, I've shown you before, is just lay them out on a tray. I like to call it flash freezing or something like that. Lay them out on a tray. I don't wash them. You know, if they've got any debris on them, I might blow it off or something like that. But I don't wash them at all. I just put them on a tray. Try to put them, you know, touching or not touching each other, not stacked up, unless I just add a room on the tray, and freeze them just like that. And they will, about 2 hours, something like that, they'll get frozen. Then put them in a freezer bag. Try with a straw to suck all the air out of the freezer bag if you can, before you seal that last little pinch. You know, seal your freezer bag all the way up, and then the very last half an inch or inch, put a straw down in there. Suck the air out as best you can, and then as you're pulling the straw out, pinch it and try to squeeze that Ziploc or whatever it is. Try to get it squeezed up and closed. That takes all the air out. The blackberries are not in a big conglomerate, big ball, because you froze them. You froze them individually, in a sense, on that tray. So they stay individual. They really do. They just do. So a great way to freeze blackberries. And I just wanted to show you what I got. Man, I hope you got this too. Especially if you got from Freedoms, or especially if you're following me and have learned anything from me. But blackberries, every stinking where. Lots of canes. These are not quite up to the trellis right here, but those will be soon. They'll get trimmed back and put in the inside the trellis. But just look at this. Now, I didn't remove. I told you I was going to remove some of the dead stuff, and I didn't do it. I got busy on a deck project, building a deck, and I have just been quite busy. But just everywhere you look, blackberries and or red berries. That will be blackberries soon, but they look good and shiny. I like them when they get dull. You know why I said that you can go too far. Pick them when they're black, and if you don't pick them that quick, then they can get they get dull looking. Now they're a little sweeter when they're dull looking, like that one. That one's kind of dull compared to the shininess. Let's see if I can get these two together. The one on the left is a little dull compared to the shiny one on the right. That's probably going to be a little sweeter, but I like to eat them when they're, or pick them and eat them when they're like that, when they're shiny and, man, just ready to go. But this one will probably not be quite as sweet as that one, because it's just aged a little longer and it's gotten a little sweeter as it sits there a little longer. So more canes I need to trim, I need to pinch off. I'll do that. I've got a good lateral here. I pinched that cane off, probably a week or so ago, and it's already starting to form. That's a lateral, actually, starting to form that lateral. I'll come through, and some of these didn't do real well, but look at that. I mean, that fell off. That means it is really ready. If it falls off by itself, it's ready. In fact, it's kind of a little soft, and it is sweet. So, what do I attribute this bumper crop to? Well, several things. I fertilized early. As soon as I saw a bloom coming, I fertilized with 10-20-10. I wanted to get that middle number up. If I had triple 13, if I had 20-20-20, if I had 10-10-10, 8-8-8, whatever, I would have added some phosphorus from some super phos to it, and just to boost that middle number up, because the middle number is where you get your blooms, and the blooms is where you get your blackberries, or just about anything else. Blooms is where you get your apples and tomatoes and peppers and all that. You probably know that. I'm not just preaching to the choir here, but I try to boost that middle number, so I use 10-20-10. Even as these Floricanes are producing, the ones from last year, the canes from last year, you got the new Primocanes coming out, so the Primocanes need more nitrogen, but at the same time, they're going to start putting on blooms pretty soon too. So I'll stay with the 10-20-10. Now, on occasion, I will come in here and give them a little boost of that water-soluble 20-20-20 down the weep hole, or in a fertilizer injector. I like to use that because it's just simple. But hopefully, you're getting some really nice berries like I'm getting, and shoot. There's nothing wrong with a good-looking berry on a big old blackberry vine. So let me take you over here and show you the Poncas real quick. To say the Poncas are prolific this year is an understatement. Look at that. I mean, there's 200 berries probably on that one cane. Everywhere you look is just a cluster of berries. Fertilize these the same, so they should be doing well. I didn't put that on the trellis. I didn't tape that to the trellis like I should have, and it's kind of falling over, but that's okay. It's going to produce some new canes, and it's producing the heck out of blackberries. But these Poncas are really, really prolific everywhere you look, but they just don't get big. They just don't get as big, and they are sweet now. They're much sweeter than the Prime Ark Freedoms. The two things I don't like about them, they don't have a big berry. For some reason, I like big berries. Somebody said big berries have big seeds. I said, no, you're wrong. Big berries make big cobblers. And that's the way I look at it. But they're sweet. And so I don't like the fact that they've got a smaller berry, and I don't like the fact that they are a Floricane. They're not a Primocane. I'm not going to get any. Once these are done, they're done. I mean, they're going to grow the Primocanes, but I'm not going to get any berries off the Primocanes because they are just they're just done. But look at that. I mean, everywhere you look, that is a Ponca blackberry at work. Really, really prolific, really sweet. They just they're small, you know, and maybe the reason I like big berries, they're just easier to pick. You know, smaller berries are just a little harder to pick. Now they're going to get bigger than this. You know, when they're in this state right here, once they start turning black, they get bigger. So it's going to be a larger berry than it is right now. But it won't. It's not going to get near as big as those Prime Ark Freedoms. So just real happy with the Freedoms this year, with the production I'm getting, and got plenty of red ones on here ready to go. Beautiful, beautiful set of berries everywhere you look. I just got berries everywhere. I'm gonna get 2 or 3 gallons today probably, and freeze them and start. I've got some in there from last. I have got to pull this one and show you that one. Goodness, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's 1.25 inches, maybe 1.5 inches long, and I bet you she's sweet. What you gonna bet? She's pretty good. She's pretty good. Again, they're not the sweetest berry. And if you're looking for a real sweet berry, maybe the Prime Ark Freedom is not for you. And if you're looking for a berry up north, Prime Ark Freedom is not for you because they do damage. They do have damage from cold weather. Anything below about 15, 10 or 15, and they get hurt. The canes get hurt. Now people have asked me, how do you keep them through the winter to keep the roots from freezing? We got it under -5, stayed in that vicinity for a week, seems like, 4 or 5 days. And I lost a bunch of canes above the tubs, above the wicking tubs. But I didn't lose, as far as I could tell, because the next round came out so quickly and so well, reproduced itself so well. I couldn't see any, I couldn't see that I had any damage as far as the roots inside the tub. I couldn't see that, them being in a tub was any worse on them than if they were in the ground. As far as winter goes, as far as winter kill goes, I didn't have any problem. I had a problem with the canes. Now the canes didn't like it. Some of the canes, I lost probably 50% of my canes that year because they didn't like the cold weather. They did not like -5, nor did I. So some of y'all live with that all the time. God bless you, because I can't do it. But some of y'all don't live with the kind of heat we live with either. Beautiful berries. Hope you got some. Let me know in the comments what you're seeing in your berries, and how they're doing. If you're already picking, I know some people have already said they've been picking for a week or two. Now they live down in zone 9 or 10, maybe South Florida, South Louisiana, but still, that's good. That's early. Let me know how yours are doing. If you're picking, if you're getting close to picking, and and what kind of berries you have. If you have the Freedoms, if you have something else. I've really talked up the Freedoms over the years, because for me in this climate in zone 8, Freedoms are really, really good. And so anyway, we just wanted to show you this. This is a Ouachita, so it's got a lot of berries on it, but not anywhere near. First of all, they're about 2-3 weeks behind, and they're not anywhere as big. And they've got the same water, same fertilizer, same everything. The Freedoms just can make big berries, big berries. So I hope you got some going, and if so, let me know. I am definitely interested in what y'all do, and interested in your comments and any kind of tips that you have for me or anybody else watching. I hope everybody kind of looks at the comments on some of this stuff, because they're absolutely worth looking at. So anyway, that's what we're going to do, and I just appreciate y'all. And go pick you some berries. That's what I'm fixing to do. And we're gone.